Hello everyone, welcome. We are in second chapter. That is the Visual Basic Language, Operators, Conditionals and Loops. So moving on to the topic, making decisions with the if-else statements. So here is the syntax of if-else statement. If condition, then statements, else if condition n, then else if statements, else statements, and if. So you use comparison operators in the condition here to generate a logical result that's true or false. For example, if condition condition is int variable greater than 5, then condition will be true if value in variable is greater than 5. So here for if condition we should use some comparison operators. So you based on that comparison operator we will make the decisions. For example, if int variable greater than 5, then the associated statements will be executed. So here, if condition is true, the statements immediately following the then keyword is the body of if statement will be executed, and the if statement will terminate before the code in any else if or else statement is executed. If condition is false, the following else if statements are evaluated if there are any. This statement lets you test additional conditions, and if any are true, the corresponding code is executed and the if statement terminates. If there are no else if statements, or if none of their conditions are true, the code in the else statement, if there is one, is executed automatically. So here is one example. Dim int input as integer. See, int input is a variable of type integer. So here system.console.writeLine enter an integer. So it is simply a printf statement, enter an. It will ask the user to enter an integer. So int input equal to, the variable is initialized with value val of system.console.readLine. So what is that? System.console.readLine is simply a scanf. So whatever the user enters through keyboard, it will be read line to read that value from keyboard, and that will be converted to val. Val means to a number, okay, and that value is stored in int input variable. And again here, if int input equal to 1, then, so whenever you use if, we should use then. So if input equal to 1, so whatever the user entered, if the user entered 1, then system.console.writeLine thank you. So it should print the statement that is thank you. Else if int input equal to 2, then system.console.writeLine that's fine. Else if int input equal to 3, then system.console.writeLine too big. Else system.console.writeLine not a number I know. So end if. Okay. So this is how to use if statement. So now the select case. So we use select case to test an expression, determine which of several cases it matches, and execute the corresponding code. So see the syntax: select case test expression, case expression list n, statements n, case else statements, and select. So select should be ended with end keyword, end select, and if should be ended with the keyword end, that is end if. Okay, so here end select. So you use multiple case statements in a select statement, each specifying a different value to test against text expression, and the code in the case statement that matches it is executed. See the example. the same example which we used for if statement, here using select case. Okay, system, the int input as integer. So int input variable is initialized, declared here as an integer, int input as integer. System.console.writeLine, enter an integer. So it will ask the user to enter an integer. So and that variable is initialized with the simply the read line. Read line is reading character from keyboard, so that the value is converted to a numeric number, okay, using a val function. So here, and our int input variable is having a value now. It will read a character, it will read a value from keyboard, and select case int input. So int input case 1, if int input is 1, case 1 it will print thank you. Case 2 it will print that's fine. Case 3 it will print okay. Case 4 to 7 it will print in the range 4 to 7. Case is greater than the 7, so is operator, we can use is operator. Case is greater than 7, if user enters greater than 7, then it will print definitely too big. Case else, system.console.writeLine, not a number I know. So that is, if user enters any other character other than number, it is greater than 7, number greater than 7, it will print definitely too big. Other than that, if user enters any character other than that, it will print not a number. So this is how to use select case. Okay, select case. So select case variable, select case the test expression. So test expression is here, select case test expression is int input, and that the case 1 is tested against int input. If int input is 1, then it will be case 1, and if int input is 2, so case 2, case 3, case 4 to 7, or case is, and we can use also is operator. Okay, and case else. So here, making selections with the switch and choose. The switch first the switch function. The switch function evaluates a list of expressions and returns an object value or an expression associated with the first expression in the list, that is true. So here is the syntax: switch expression 1 value 1, expression 2 value 2, expression n value n. So in this case, expression 1 is the first expression to evaluate. If it is true, switch returns value 1. If expression 1 is not true but expression 2 is true, then switch returns value 2, and so on. Okay, first it will check whether expression 1 is true. If expression 1 is true, then it will return value 1. If expression 1 is not true, then it will go to expression 2. Okay, if expression 2 is true, then it will print, it will go to value 2. So here is one example: int abs value, that is finding out absolute value, equal to switch int value less than 0 minus 1 into int value greater than or equal to 0 int value. So what is the absolute value? Absolute means if a value is a negative value, then it will make it positive. That means negative value minus, it will eliminate the minus. Okay, so here minus 1. See here, absolute value making the negative positive, making a negative value a positive. Okay, switch int value less than 0. If value is less than 0 means it is negative, isn't it? So how to make it absolute, how to get the absolute of negative value? That is, minus multiplying the value with the -1. Okay, -1 into minus means minus into minus, it will return plus, it will become positive. So here into value less than 1, less than 0, then it will multiply it with the minus value -1, and if int value is greater than or equal to 0, that means positive. So positive means it will return the positive value, that is int value. Okay, so this is how to use switch statement. So next one is choose function. You use the choose function to return one of a number of choices based on an index. So the syntax is choose index, choice 1, choice 2, choice n. So if the index value is 1, the first choice is returned. If index equals to 2, it equals 2, the second choice is returned, and so on. Here is an example using choose. In this case we have 3 employees, Bob, Dennis and Ted, with the employee IDs 1, 2, 3 respectively. So this code uses an ID value to assign the corresponding employee name to str employee name. Okay, so what is this? Str employee name equal to choose. So we are choosing the name here. So we are initializing the str employee name variable with the corresponding name. So here str employee name equal to choose. Choose index is int id, index int id. If int id equal to 1, see the employee IDs are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3. So it will choose. If int id equal to 1, then it will choose the name Bob. If int id equal to 2, then it will choose the name Dennis, and if int id equal to 3, then it will choose name Ted. So this is how to use choose function. So now looping to execute statements repetitively. So here you can use do loop using the do loop. You use loops to execute a series of statements repeatedly using the do loop. The do loop keeps executing its enclosed statements while or until condition is true. So you can also terminate a do loop at any time with an exit do statement, and the do loop has 2 versions. You can either evaluate a condition at the beginning. Okay, so the 2 versions, that do, while, until condition statements, exit do statements, loop, or you can use the condition at the end, that is do statements, exit do statements, loop, while or until condition. You can use either use while or until, and there are 2 versions of do statement, do, that is using the condition in the beginning or at the end. So here is one example where the code keeps displaying the message what should I do until the user types stop. So here dim str input as string. Str input variable is declared here as a string, and do until u case of str input equal to stop. System.console.writeLine, it should print what should I do, and str input equal to system.console.readline. Okay, and loop. So it will ask what is that? System.console.readline means it will ask user to, first it will print what should I do. That means it will ask the user to enter some characters. If the entered value will be stored in str input, that is system.console.readline means it will read some value from keyboard. Okay, so the str input, and it will check do until u case str input equal to stop. What is that? do until str input. What is the str input? The value given by user. The value maybe it will ask the user to enter some string, isn't it? It will ask user to enter some string. If user enters stop, then it will exit. Okay, do loop will be exit. It will exit the do loop when user enters stop. Okay, do until means do until u case str input equal to stop. So it will do the following statements. Which one? What should I do? It will print what should I do until the user inputs stop. Okay, what is that u case str input? Whatever the user inputs, it will convert it to uppercase. If at all user inputs stop as a capital S and small top, then it will convert it to capital STOP. Okay, so here this program is, it will do all this to this statement, what should I do, until the user inputs stop. Okay, inputs the string stop. Until then loop will be continued. So here using the for loop, next one is for loop. The syntax is, and you can terminate a for loop at any time with the exit for. So here the syntax is for index equal to start to end step statements, exit for statements, next index. The index variable is originally set to start automatically when the loop begins. Okay, start means start to end, so the value of start value. Each time through the loop index, the index is incremented by step. Okay, what is that step? The step value given in the step. Step is set to default 1. If you don't specify a value to step, it will be by default it will be 1, and when index equals end, the loop ends. So start to end. Okay, so when the index equals end, the loop ends. So here is an example. Int loop index as integer. Int loop index is declared as integer, and for int loop index 0 to 3, system.console.writeline hello from Visual Basic. Next, int loop index ends up end module. See the for loop. For index start to end, and this step is optional. For index start to end. So here for index is int loop index. So here for int loop index start to end, start is 0, end is 3. Okay, so it will print hello from Visual Basic. Next loop. So next loop means loop will be incremented. So first, now for loop executes for int loop index 0 to 3. So int loop index is now 0. So for that 0, it will print hello from Visual Basic, and it will come to next int loop index. So loop index will be incremented by 1, and again it will print hello from Visual Basic, and next loop index will be incremented by 1. Again it is for 2, it will print hello from Visual Basic, and it will print hello from Visual Basic 4 times, because 0, 1, 2, 3, and 3 is end. So when it reaches the value end, so it will exit. Okay, it will come out from the loop. So here there is one more. If we use a step size of 2, so how to use this step? So here in the first example, we have not used the step, start to end step is optional however, and in the first example we have not used step, and we can also use step here. See, for example, the same program, see for int loop index equal to 0 to 3 step 2. So what is that step 2? the system.console.writeLine hello from Visual Basic next loop index. So this next loop index, it will be incremented by 2. Okay, here step 2 means it will be incremented by 2, but in the first program it was incremented by 1, but here step, if you don't specify the step, then automatically it will, by default it will increment the index by 1, and if you specify here step, the incrementing index, that is step, the increment by 2. Okay, so here 0 to 3, and it will print hello from Visual Basic 2 times. So after that, first it was 0, loop index was 0, it will print hello from Visual Basic, and again it will be incremented by 2, that is 0, 1, 2, and it will print hello from Visual Basic, and again it will print, it will be incremented, loop index will be incremented by 2, that is 2, 3, 4. So 4 is greater than the end value 3, because loop index is 0 to 3, isn't it? So end is 3, so and our value loop index became 4, so it will come out of the loop. So it will print hello from Visual Basic 2 times. Okay. So now there is one more for each next loop. Okay, see the syntax: for each element in group statements, exit for statements next element. Okay, so this group may be a group or collections like array. For each element in the group, see the example: dim int id array of 3, int array item as integer. So here one array is declared, that is int id array, and int array item as integer. So int id array is initialized with the values int. So array of 0 equal to 0, array of 1 equal to 1, array of 2 equal to 2, array of 3 equal to 3. So our array is initialized with the value 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now the for statement, for loop, for each int array item in int id array, int array item in int id array, system.console.writeLine int array item, next int array item. Okay, so here is the result of code. See, it will print int array item. Int array item is initially it is 0. Okay, so int id, for each int array item in int id array, system.console.writeLine int array item. Int array item is 0, first it will print 0, next int array item means it will incremented by 1, it will incremented by 1, so that is next it will print int array item 1, next it will be incremented by 1, that is it will become 2, and again it will print int array item, that is 2, and next it will be incremented by 1, it will become 3, and system.console.writeLine int array item, it will print 3, and next int array item 4. So it will come out of the loop because it is end of array, isn't it? So here you don't need to mention start and end. So here start is 0, end is 3, isn't it? For int loop index equal to 0 to 3, that is start is 0 and end is 3. But here in this group, when you use it for each statement, for each loop, here no need to mention the end, because it will see for each int array item in int id array. So it will know the items in array. Okay, so how many values are there in array, that many values will be executed. Okay, so here no need to mention the end, so it knows the start and end of array. Okay, So now using while loop. So while keep looping while the condition the test remains true. If you use a while loop, if you have a condition, that will become false when you want to stop looping. See the syntax: while condition statements and while condition statements and while. So the example, int counter as integer equal to 0, int number as integer equal to 10. So two variables are declared as integer and variables are initialized with the values int counter equal to 0, int number equal to 10. So now checking while int number greater than 0. Int number greater than 0. While int number greater than 0, int number minus equal to 1, int counter plus equal to 1, and while. Okay, and while. So int number minus equal to 1 means int number equal to int number minus 1. Int counter plus equal to 1 means int counter equal to int counter plus 1. So int number will be int. So while int number greater than 6. See the first condition, it in while loop, int number greater than 1. See the int number is initialized to 10, isn't it? So int number greater than 6, condition true. Here while condition, here it is true because int number is 10 and int number will be decremented by 1. So decremented by 1 means it will become int number will become 9 and int counter plus 1. So int counter was 0 and int counter will become incremented to 1. So again the loop, again it will go to the loop while loop, that is while int number greater than 6. Yes, now int number has become 9 but it is greater than 6 and int number, the next statement is int number minus equal to 1. That means int number will be decremented by 1 and actually our int number was 9 and it will be decremented to 8 and int counter will be incremented to 2. Okay, so counter will be incremented to 2 and again it will go to while loop, int number greater than 6. Yes, it is 6. The 8, it will check int number 8 is greater than 6 and int number will be decremented, that is 7 and int count, the counter will be incremented to 3 and again it will go to while loop and it will become, it will check 7 greater than 6, true, int number will be decremented to 6 and int counter will be incremented to 4. Okay, so our int counter value will become 4 and again it will go to while loop, int number greater than 6. So our int number has become 6 now. 6 greater than 6 false. Okay, 6 greater than 6 false, it will come out of the loop. And message box, the loop ran int counter times. Int counter, so what is our int counter? Our int counter is holding value 4. Okay, so int counter variable is holding value 4, so it will print the loop ran 4 times. Output will be the loop ran 4 times. Okay, so next one, the with statement. The with statement to execute statements using a particular object. See the syntax: with object, statements and with. Okay, with object, statements and with. Here is an example showing how to put with to work. So here we are using text box and text box 1 while creating Windows Forms. Okay, and setting its height, width and text properties in the with statement. So here with text box 1, height equal to 1000, width equal to 3000, text equal to welcome to Visual Basic, and end with statement will be ended with the keyword end. See with the text box 1, so while creating Visual Basic programs, while creating a form we will have to use different controls or different objects like text box, label, button. Okay, so here we are using text box. For text box you can set the height of the text box and width of that text box and the text for that text box. Welcome to Visual Basic. So here it is with the using with statement. Okay, so using with statement we can set the values to the object. So here object is text box. Okay, so how to put with to work. So here with statement is used to execute statements using a particular object.